Becoming Sister Wives, Chapter 5, Part 6. At first, the three of us had a wonderful friendship, but when the time came for Robin to start exploring her relationship with Cody on a deeper and more personal level, things became difficult for me. I had been instrumental in bringing Robin and Cody together. Now I wasn't needed anymore. Since Robin lived so far away, Cody had to spend much more time away from the house in order to court her. At first, he had taken a wife and a couple of kids with him on these trips, as the whole family would need to get to know Robin and her children. Eventually, it was better for him not to include the wife, as he and Robin deserved and needed a long time to build their own relationship. Robin's presence transformed from something that filled me with the joy to something that made me extremely lonely, as well as feeling the love that Cody and I shared was once again being threatened. Cody and Robin started courting at the absolute low point of my marriage. Our 20th anniversary was fast approaching, and I was learning that so much time together will either make or break you. Cody and I have different ways of communicating. He is happy to just stop talking about the issue and move on, and never discussing it and considering it dealt with, while I need to discuss it and achieve some sort of closure on the subject. Because of our different communication styles, Cody and I found it easier to ignore problems instead of addressing them. Things might have been solved quicker, suddenly ballooned. Over a 20-year marriage with all the pressures of other wives and other kids, this led to a significant amount of misunderstanding and strife between us. When Cody and Robin began courting, I realized that the two of us needed to take steps to repair our own relationship, because I felt insignificant and insecure in my relationship with Cody. I struggled with all the time he needed to spend with Robin and her kids in southern Utah. Again, I turned inward and began to wonder what benefit I was to this family. Cody and I were hanging by a thread, and he was off courting someone else, even though courting Robin had been partly my idea. The reality of the situation was very difficult for me. I liked Robin and felt a connection to her, and I wanted Cody to court her, but when it came down to it, I was actually dealing with those emotions on top of the emotion I was already having in my struggling relationship with Cody. It became very difficult to deny the hurt. Cody and I had fallen into a vigorous cycle with each other, dealing with her anger, rejection, sadness. It got to the point where we didn't really enjoy being around each other, and when we were together, we could barely say anything without setting the other off. We talked little and enjoyed each other's company less. I felt as if Cody was shutting me out of his life completely. Eventually, we had to look at each other deep and hard to decide what we really wanted and how committed we were. And were we willing to fight for each other and get back what we once had? Cody and I decided together that we needed to see a marriage counselor. We needed to feel solid in our relationship as he moved on with his courtship with Robin. I know Robin was also anxious for us to end our marriage before she came into our family. It took a long time and a lot of hard sessions with us being absolutely open and honest with each other. It was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. It was also the best thing I've ever done. The counselor helped us work through our problems and uncover common language with which is to communicate. Cody learned to be more patient with me when I brought my problems to him. He learned to let me talk them out, and I was able to confront my anger and to start to understand that sometimes my aggressive attitude made it difficult for Cody to listen to me. It took a lot of hard work, but now Cody and I are at our absolute best. We still are again very much in love. It's a wonderful thing knowing that Cody's absolutely my soulmate. Our counselor had previously worked with plural families and was open and understanding about the joys and difficulties of our lifestyle. Meeting with this marriage counselor only strengthened my commitment to getting my own license so that I could use my experience in a polygamous family to help other polygamists who are struggling with themselves, their spouses, or their sister wives. When she decided to join our family, Robin took an active role in trying to forge a good relationship with me. She was patient with me and took the time to listen to me when I was struggling with my feelings and emotions. She began to see the same counselor that Cody and I did. Sometimes we did counseling. Sometimes we did counseling as a group of three. Sometimes Robin and I did our own couples counseling in order to work through our issues before they were allowed to fester and blow up into large-scale disagreements and struggles. The relationship between Cody and Robin was new and exciting, and I could see how happy they were together. Since Cody and I had been married for so long, and our relationship was in a different stage, added to the fact that we were in a really tough spot, it was easy for me to put the blame on Robin. In my head, I was sure that Cody wouldn't be treating me so unfairly if it wasn't for her presence in our lives. Cody was my husband, and so I couldn't blame him, and surely I couldn't be at fault. So in my mind, that obvious answer was Robin. I couldn't have been more wrong. Robin and I needed to figure out how to have a healthy friendship outside of our marriages to Cody, and I had to learn not to blame Robin for my own struggles with Cody, and I began to look inward and admit my own shortcomings so I could improve myself. I needed to learn how to be open to seeing myself how I was truly appearing to people, and to open to allowing Robin into my world. My relationship with Janelle and Christine were longtime friendships, and we were comfortable where we were, but I wasn't completely happy with either of them. Janelle and I had learned how to function well together. We don't have an extremely close relationship, but it's good. Christine and I know how to goof off and have fun together. Our relationship is good on a surface level, but has absolutely no depth to it. When I first met Robin, I knew there was a special closeness waiting for us, but I needed to learn how to be more available and safe for her to want to let me in. If I hadn't been able to examine myself and be willing to begin my journey of improving myself, I wouldn't have found the sweet, close sister wife bond that I had always hoped for. Robin and I have arrived at such a wonderful place, which is a testament to me of what a beautiful principle our family has engaged in. Sometimes when it's Cody's night at my house, Robin and her kids will still spend the evening with us, visit or watching TV, laughing at her little girls as they sing karaoke. I have never had to ask her to give Cody and me space. She's so sensitive and aware of what I need that she's always a step ahead. We have learned to respect each other's marriages, and out of this, our own friendship. has grown beyond strong.